So, can we please stop weaponizing Ancestry and start doing the work? Your DNA test, unfortunately, does not equal a passport to Irish paganism. DNA is not a cultural passport. It's not your automatic entry. It certainly does not give you entitlement to whatever you think you need from Ireland. That sounds harsh, I know it does, and that is something I do get accused of, and that is kind of proof of what I'm saying, because what happens is I don't do the customer service American cultural politeness or the British politeness. So me being culturally Irish means that what I do is not what people are expecting from their own cultures. So when an American or a British person accuses me of being too harsh, knows her stuff, but she's too harsh and too blunt and very aggressive, what that is telling me is that there is an entitlement to my time, my effort, my energy. And unfortunately, what it does signify most strongly is that you do not understand Irish people at all. You haven't got the cultural context for Irish people. So paganism, our native spirituality, is about practice, not genetics. And it's really important for people to understand that. You have to do the work. Whatever your ancestry or your DNA has told you, or even, your parents, your grandparents, your aunties, your uncles, your Irish diaspora community has told you growing up about how absolutely Irish you are, being Irish is a different thing. And here in Ireland, in the culture, most of us, unfortunately, we do have a certain element that are being overly influenced by outside of our culture, but most of us understand that Ireland is an island of coming and going, so this is part of our story, it's part of your story as well. If you do have that Irish ancestry, your ancestors left this island. They left the island by force, they left the island by choice, they were economic immigrants, they were surviving because of what was happening on the island through colonization, and made it untenable to survive here. So this is a very complex history. In Ireland, we don't have a creation myth, really, which is very interesting. Most cultures, most native or indigenous cultures will have a creation myth. Ours doesn't. We have possibly an equivalent, or what would be closest, is Lebor Gabála Érenn, which is often translated as the Book of Invasions, but really it's the book of the taking of Ireland. And what that is a history of people coming and people going from the island. So if your DNA test does not automatically equal your passport to Irish paganism, what does? What gets you here? I'm not here to tell you that you can't be a part of this. Literally, my entire life's mission is to ensure that you have the resources and the tools and the work ethic and the understanding and the cultural context for your own personal, spiritual, authentic connection to Ireland. And not just spiritual, but cultural as well. So that's really important to me. I've literally spent decades providing that for people, mostly for free. What I would recommend that people do, if you want to get annoyed at me, by all means come into the comments, go on Reddit, tell everybody what I was going to use a different word, but tell everybody what a blunt, horrible, aggressive person Lora O'Brien of the Irish Pagan School is. Or you can study the living culture And please don't mishear me, I don't mean just from me. There are so many creators, there are so many, for example, our media, our news media. Our national news media is controlled by a landlord government, so we're going to ignore that. What I do recommend is thejournal.ie. So please go there and at least get a daily dose of the reality of Irish news and reporting and accurate journalism. And there's a few spin-offs. There's the Journal Investigates. There's also the District, which is coming up, which I'm not sure is related to the Journal, but certainly has a similar vibe. So that will give you very accurate and very fact-checked news from Ireland and about Ireland, and also from an Irish perspective, which is really interesting too. So that's a really good place to start. Listen to our Irish language media, even if you don't understand the language. Get it in there, you know. Start to become familiar with the cadence and intonation of the language that your ancestors have spoken. Maybe even learn it yourself, who knows, but not trying to overwhelm anybody now. So TG Cahir, it's TG4, would be where to go for that. Support Irish creators, and again, you can support me if you want, of course, but I'm not talking about me. I'm talking about a brilliant Irish comedian called Aoife Dunn. You'll find her on Instagram. Aoife is never done, Dunne. But Aoife Dunn is just brilliant, scathing, amazing. Definitely get onto her social profiles and follow her and support her. Oh my goodness, who else? Blind Boy is a classic one that I always recommend. Blind Boy podcast. Definitely go back, listen to the Blind Boy podcast. You will not regret it. Do you know, like there's a lot, and I do recommend people. I do share on my stories on Instagram. I'm at your.irish.connection, so you'll see a lot of very accurate and authentic culture there, that I'm sharing, that I'm platforming from Irish creators. And if you are coming here, please visit us as a pilgrim, make it a spiritual pilgrimage or a cultural pilgrimage, rather than coming home. Rather than it being a visit that is full of entitlement and this is what I need and this is what I've lost. Like, start with a beginner's mind and just try and make sure that you are coming in with a very, very open mind and unentitled attitude. And honestly, you'll have a better visit anyway, because people will be far more receptive to you and, again, far more authentic with you if they don't feel that you are coming in as somebody who is feeling entitled for them to serve you or for them to provide you with what they need, right? So I hope that people can hear past the harshness or past the bluntness of my usual style, my voice, my messages, to what's really at the heart of it, which is an absolute dedication and passion and commitment to providing anybody who wants it, whether you have Irish ancestry or not, but a lot of you do. And I want you to access the real Ireland, real Irish spirituality, not some touristy fucking nonsense, right? So if you would like some free resources, we do have paid classes at the Irish Pagan School. By all means, go and do that if you want to. But there is there's a link below, and it's irishpagan.school/free. And you'll find a collection of all of the free resources, including our social media content, including our blog, our TikTok, our YouTube, our podcast, all of these things that we do on a weekly basis, so that you have access to these resources. And you can absolutely go and look that up. But there is one in particular, which is the Roots and Reverence Ancestral Series. And that is again a free, I think it's 5-day email series. I want to say it's at irishpagan.school/roots or OOTS. But anyway, it'll be on that /free page. It's linked there. So please go and check that out. And I hope that it's useful to you. And I hope that you, again, can approach this with a beginner's mind. Leave your preconceptions at the door. Leave your butt hurt at the door, definitely, because if you're coming to us with that, nobody wants you anyway. So there you go. Slán. See you next time.